everybody. Thank you for joining us on Springfield Symphony's Homegrown Series. I am Grace Shryock, and I'm the English horn player in the Springfield Symphony, and I am coming to you from Westboro, Massachusetts.
And I'm Karen Hosmer, the second oboe player for the Springfield Symphony, and I'm coming to you from my home office in Scotia, New York, which is just west of Albany and Schenectady.
And I'm Nancy Dimock, and I'm the principal oboe player in the Springfield Symphony, and I'm coming to you from Braintree, Massachusetts, which is just south of Boston. And so we are your oboe section, and oboe is kind of a little bit of an unusual instrument. Not too many kids play it, and so it's a little unusual how people get started often. So, hey, Grace, how did you learn?
Well, in 5th grade, the day we got to try out instruments for the next year, I was sick, so I did not get to try any instruments before I picked mine. But my big sister had a boyfriend who played the oboe, and I had a little crush on him, and I thought that if the oboe was good enough for Matt, then it was good enough for me, and it turns out that it was. And so I'm glad he chose a good instrument. I'm sure he doesn't play it anymore.
Well, I also started in elementary school. And I had a strong sense of what I was going to play. So my mom stepped in and said, well, how about the oboe? Because the oboe gets all the pretty melodies. And there aren't that many people that play the oboe, so you'll have less competition. And both of those things sounded pretty good to me. And I've been very happy to play all of the luxurious, slow, gorgeous melodies that we get to play. Nancy?
My mom really wanted me to play the French horn because she had played it in school and got me one, and I tried lugging that thing to school for a couple days, and it was just too heavy. And so we found a smaller instrument, the oboe. And then, you know, like you guys were saying, you kind of get hooked with the oboe because it's a challenge, and you have to keep trying, right?
That's right. And I should say the English horn, which is what I mainly play in Springfield, is basically a big version of the oboe. It's plays lower notes, but it uses all the same fingering. So if you can play the oboe, you can learn how to play the English horn as well.
And it is not English or a horn.
That's very true.
The biggest misnomer in the orchestra.
So Grace, how did you find this piece?
Well, when the quarantine started, I suddenly went from being able to play with everybody in the orchestra to just being able to play my own instrument. And it's fun playing your own instrument by yourself, but it's not as much fun as playing with other people. And so I was looking through a pile of chamber music that a friend of mine had given me a few years ago, and I hadn't had an opportunity to play any of it yet. And I knew there was some music in there for 2 oboes and English horn. And so I thought, well, I could play all 3 parts and record it. But then I thought, why not play with my friends Nancy and Karen? And so I recruited them into this little project, and it was really fun. It was fun to put together.
It was great. So what is this piece exactly that we are playing?
This
is, go ahead, Karen.
Oh, this is a trio by Gordon Jacob. Gordon Jacob is a composer from the 20th century, lived in England, wrote a lot of music for wind players, apparently wanted to play wind instrument, but was not able to. He wrote concertos for oboes, he wrote concertos for English horn, and he's following a tradition that goes at least back to Beethoven of writing music for 2 oboes and English horn. So this is a nice, light, boppy piece with a little bit of maybe bagpipe inspiration as well. You might know Gordon Jacob if you know band literature. One of the pieces that he's really famous for is his William Byrd suite. So William Byrd, 17th century composer, and Gordon Jacob took his music and arranged it for band. So that's probably one of his most famous pieces. This is new to all of us, but we really enjoyed it.
We did, and we recorded this on an app on each of our phones individually called Acapella. And so we're mentioning it in part because we'll show up in 3 separate bars on your screen. And we were nowhere near each other. We were, hundreds of miles apart when we did this. But it was an interesting challenge. because you have to play music that doesn't have too many tempo changes because you can't put that together easily. So you'll notice that it does look a little different than maybe some other videos you've seen where people have recorded with a standard video recorder. But it was a lot of fun, and we really hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, enjoy. Thank you for watching.
Thank you. Thank you.